Damage with Arthur Butler.
When we get to an area that I know, I told you I would drive to Augusta.
When we get to the flatland, you could drive.
No, I told you I would drive to Augusta.
Okay, when we get to Augusta, you could drive.
Well, people, we got some visitors here today. We got J3GS
How y'all doing there?
and Fran out here, and then we got Ed. That's Jay's son.
He's a beautiful young man. He's so lucky to have him.
You mean he's a handsome young man? Don't call him beautiful.
He's a very handsome young
Okay,
man. But I'm talking about his personality when I'm talking about beautiful.
Okay, well, we just trying to get this thing straight because most men don't like to be called beautiful.
You man.
I know what you mean. It's all right.
Thank you. Thank
But
you.
anyway, we got some guests here with us today, and Jed has come to get his German Shepherd, which we'll show you a little bit later on. And Fran is out here giving a tutorial on everything that's happening.
Trying to
And
give away a fig tree. He got too many
keeping us
fig
up to
trees.
date.
I tried to give him a pomegranate tree. He got too many pomegranates. So the only thing we can give him today is a puppy.
well, I was telling,
Since she put it like that, I might have to get something because she put me on Front Street.
well, like Ed and myself, we were just talking, having a conversation about edibles, something to eat, the veggies. And Fran is out here talking about flowers and trees, but that's Jed and Fran
I tried
thing
to
there.
give him some blueberries. He said he got
Jed
blueberries.
got plenty of
wazoo.
And she know I'm
blueberries.
the Blueberry King.
That's right, and the honeys, and the honey
The
slaver.
honey and the berry king.
Oh,
Yeah.
I should have had you bring some honey.
You're late.
I'm late.
Well, I tell you what, I think I'm gonna turn this thing off. We'll get back at you in a minute. Okay, we have Ed. We have Ed here. We have Ed here. If I can get Fran to just hold it down, I want to introduce you all to EJ. And he was just telling me that he do certain type of work. Now, what was that, EJ?
Hardwood floors, painting, baseboards. Well, I don't know what else I can do. It's my first time.
Remodeling.
Basically remodeling. See,
Yeah.
I drive trucks.
The
full
house
time.
in,
Commercial
commercial
truck
remodeling
driver.
that old house.
But yeah, we just moved in the house and I had to do everything. But I like this kitchen though.
And what part of
Mount Vernon.
Mount Vernon?
Mount
Okay.
Vernon, Georgia.
Okay, so if you all are in that area, give Ed a shout out because he's about like Jim Boogie, my son, truck driver, but he got other skills. In other words, he's got skills.
He paid attention to
pay
his
the
daddy.
He paid attention to
He
his
paid attention to his
dad.
daddy.
I had to call him a lot. I did have to call him a lot.
But you're lucky you got somebody you can call to tell you how to do it. Like Arthur does his son.
But see, when I was a little kid, he used to be like, "Come on, EJ." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't really want to do that. I want to go play football or play the video game or something." But I always watched them. But it took like 20 years later for it to actually be
You got your
useful.
own house.
See, now this is very educational, people. This is what the OGs talk about on Sunday nights.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, the young people get out there and get with it and learn a skill because nowadays you're going to have one.
That's right.
You know, education is great, but you need a skill. People, get out there and get that skill.
And plant something.
Gotta have something to fall back on.
And as Fran say, plant something.
You see that, nigga? You need to get one of them.
Aquaponics.
And
You need to get one of them.
EJ is thrilled about this
I like that.
hydroponic.
What's that going on my desk at the house?
I ain't been in there.
That's 10 trees growing on the desk at the house.
I ain't been in there.
Oh,
When I just went to the bathroom and came out and got in the truck. I didn't look around.
Well, we're going to get back with you in a little bit, people.
It's hard to keep up with what's happening around your perimeter. People encroach on your property, hunt on your property, do all kind of stuff. You won't even know it because 15 acres of land is a lot of land,
And he bought
especially.
150.
Well, I know what they're gonna do on mine, because it will be fenced off.
I told him I only need
And
about 20.
fencing off 150 acres is gonna cost.
I'm not gonna do it all at one time.
I don't care how, when you do it, you'll be old and in a wheelchair trying to get them.
Well, people, I want you all to know that Jed and
It
Fran,
costs a lot of money.
Jed and Fran is doing a tutorial on buying 150 acres of land.
Yeah, 10 ain't
10
even.
and 15, like you see what's around here, and that's just 2.5 acres.
Mm-hmm.
With the house next to it, it's 5 acres. That's a lot to keep up with, you know, to keep the grass cut, keep animals off of it, you know, bears and stuff be walking around, foxes and coyotes.
He got some other land, the only thing he don't wanna move down there.
Swamp. I don't want to be in the swamp.
Well, you know, people building houses on swamp these days, you know,
Yeah,
places where.
Can you
if
get them
feel like
insured,
it's
though?
Huh?
Can they insure
Yeah.
with the flooding and all that going on? And
Well, the guy built a big old house down in the rice field.
Yeah,
That's insurance
I
probably.
got property on the Saluda River. The Saluda River run from North Carolina all the way, I believe, to Georgia. That water is like, how many feet from the bank down to the water? About 3 feet?
It's
4 feet?
more like 6 feet.
There are times when the Saluda River overflows and comes up on the land. You know, part of it that's on the Saluda River is in a floodplain.
What?
People go down there and say, "Oh, this is beautiful.
What?
We can come over here and fish and do all kind of stuff."
Well, my
oh,
property-
your property?
well, my-
Yeah,
How you stop?
you don't. I don't have anything. I don't even have a. Often I talked about building a fish shed over there and put it on stilts.
A dock. A
Not.
dock. Now, if you're gonna give a tutorial, you need to say things correctly. A dock, not a fish shed. Okay. But go ahead. Now,
But
I'm
I
still
wanted a fish shed.
feminine.
I wanted a fish shed too. I wanted a place to put my fishing equipment.
And then we go back and it won't be there.
Yeah, that's true, because people, you know, even though we had signs up saying no trespassing.
Yeah, they do it anyway.
And it's, what do you call it when you get, the thing where you get arrested if you go on somebody's property?
Oh,
It's posted.
yeah.
We got it posted, we got signs up, people came and tore the posted signs down, cause they wanna come up there and fish on the bank.
That's
We
what-
sprayed it purple.
Yeah,
They-
purple and 3 lines and,
Yeah, and they still go up there and you see, you know, fish, worm cartons and garbage and beer cans where they have been up there. When you got a lot of property, it's more than a notion trying to keep up with.
Well, where I'm at, it floods, but it don't flood nowhere on my property.
That's a blessing. That's a blessing, because trying to even out where the flood water goes, ask the people up in North Carolina.
Hey.
They lived in the mountains, they thought they would never flood.
Well,
And
a
then
valley
houses
is
got
nothing
washed
but
away.
a pond. A valley is nothing but a pond.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So I understand what it means when you say, you know, I want 150 acres. That's a county.
I want 150.
He wanted, but I told him about 10, 20 acres.
I want 150 for my children,
He wanted-
grandchildren, and all.
Y'all, most of your grandchildren and children don't want it. They want to live in a neighborhood where
Then
they
that's
have-
your job to convince them to want it.
You can't
You
convince
got,
kids.
only thing you can do is talk to these children and try to convince them. You can't make them do anything
No, know your children.
Until they get out,
until
they
they,
get out your house. Then you can't make them do nothing.
You can't make them hardly do anything in your house. But
Well, we're
know
gonna
your
stop this
children.
one,
If you
people.
got-
Oh, my bad, dude.
well, forgot how to get this done. And there he is. That's what Jed come to get. And like I said, I can't tell you what his name is because I don't know if Jed had a name.
Just the bottom.
But the next time we see him, probably be at the Saw Fest.
No, I don't think I'm bringing nobody to the soul fest.
Do I need to give you something to give him some water?
I gotta stop and pick him up some stuff. Yeah, I better give him some more. stop and pick up a whole bunch of new stuff for this fella.
You want a bungee cord to go across the top?
I got just going in the back, that's all.
Oh, okay.
You got a strap in there? Oh.
That strap right here, I tied it up. Don't know how I tied it up.
What you just put over the top?
Let me go in there and get you the papers for it.
Yeah. I'm gonna take care of it.
Well, people, we gonna say goodbye to Jed and EJ over there. It's time for them to hit the road and head back to the house. They done got the puppy, and Jed will tell you one of these nights on Sunday night with the OGs what the puppy's name.
Yeah.
But anywho, that's gonna be us saying,
I might let my wife name it.
you heard that. Now you heard that, people. You heard that. Well, you and EJ be safe. Be careful.
Be careful.
EJ, call me when you need me, okay?
Gotcha.
You got me. All right.
Gotcha.
That'll be the one, Bammett, with the sidekick,
Peace out,
Fran,
y'all.
with Jed and EJ.